feel perpetually behind in all my personal garden tasks because I'm either in a client garden or helping my kids with school stuff or transitioning into summer. But today I'm just gonna take one task, which is building a garden bed, and we're just gonna get that done today. I realized I don't have the luxury of time to get all the things done that I want in the time frame that I want to do and also record it. So we're just gonna have to do chunk by chunk. You can see I have racks on the back there of plants that really need to be planted. I have a lot of rescue plants everywhere, and at this point it's a jungle back here, and part of my bottleneck is wanting to put, let me bring you closer. Part of my bottleneck is wanting to put a little bed right here, a skinny, right along here, so I can plant some flowers and then get this trellis really locked in and something growing on top. Now, what's the holdup? I just need to build it. So I actually already cut the wood and just need to find the time to pre-drill holes, assemble. Now, this is a bed that I'm using what I have, and I would not recommend, let me just go grab the pieces and I'll show you what I mean. I believe 1-inch boards, not typically what I would recommend to use to build a raised bed, but I have a bunch of these and they've been sitting in my garage for maybe 2 years now, so I just really need to get them used. So you can see some have been outside, so they're a little bit aged, and some have been inside, but these ones that are aged more, I love this color, but I'm gonna actually put this on the back side. So the rest of it ages at the same speed, and then it will all look more uniform. I'm actually gonna connect the ends with these pieces, and you'll notice they are not the same width. This is not what I would do for a client, but for myself, because I have scrap pieces I wanna use, I thought this might be helpful for you. When it's your own home and you're trying to reduce waste, sometimes you just make it work. So these are actually cedar 2x4s that are left over from another project. The idea is that it is going to, yes, I have flops and socks. So the idea is it's gonna go 4 blocks up. And like this. So we'll need to do a connector in the center to give it some support, but this is what we're looking at building. And these are actually too tall because I only want them to be 4 boards high. And I know this is probably not for those who are very experienced in building, they use the proper terms because these are 2x4s, but honestly, if it's it actually might be a 2x3. I think it might be 2x3, but I find lumber measurements so confusing. So I actually like to count them by boards, and I just measure and to make sure that I'm doing exactly what I want. So I'll just hold it, and this one's a little bit bent. So we're gonna go like this. This is gonna be the back side. Just like that. And this is actually 5 boards high. I don't know, maybe I had planned it to be 5 boards high. Did I plan it to be 5 boards high? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I planned it to be 5 boards high because now this is 5 boards high and it's all cut the same size. So this is how I would assemble, just like that on top. I'm gonna drill in and I'll be one side and then I'll do the other side. So we're doing great. So I actually need to trim down these long boards so they're all the same exact length and it will fit nice and square and proper. So let's do that first. So safety first. I have my handy dandy goggles to protect my eyes and my saw. And I have tape measure, I think we're going with, oh, these are 8-foot boards. I think we can make an 8-foot bed. So that's what we're gonna do. I also have, where is it? My square is somewhere here. I have my square, and I'm actually gonna mark it off first. Bring it closer so you can see right here. And that's all our baseball stuff, typical garage. But here you can see, I'm gonna mark off right here at the 8-foot. All right, now that I have one done, I'm just going to do these also. And this one, let me see, double check here. So this is a hair more, whereas this one, this one is exactly 8. So I'm just going to trim this guy down. Just a smidge. Okay. This one's a little crooked. Okay, now these are the same. I don't like that it's crooked. All right, we're gonna make this work. Okay, so those are 8. This is exactly 8. So this one looks a little long. Now I need 10 of these because we're gonna have 5 boards up. So this is over 8. So we're gonna go like this. Mark the 8. Okay. Take these boards out from under, because these are fine. These are cut to size. Let's put them over here. Okay, now these are actually 1x3s, but you should always go for 2 inches or more. I just happen to have these and I'm gonna use them. I don't have anything else for them. These are leftover from a project that I didn't end up doing on my own. I was gonna make these teeny tiny planter boxes and I decided it was not worth the effort. I was gonna make little window boxes with this and I don't have a window to hang. I would have to make some other stuff for it. And I just decided it wasn't worth it. So here, it looks like we're dealing. See, this is a pet peeve of mine. If you've bought lumber before, look at this. These are all 8-foot boards. And look, none of them line up. See, right here. They do not line up. And these are redwood. For a client project, I would never mix red and cedar, but again, my house, we get the leftovers here. So I'm gonna take this one down first. I don't wanna do more than 2 at a time. And, okay, these are lined up properly. So let's make sure we're lined up. Lined up here. Lined up here. All right. Couple more pieces. This is done. And these last two. Normally I recommend giving yourself a bit more space, but it's a jungle back here and I don't feel like making space. I'm going to make the back side first. So I need one corner here. I'm gonna remove these guys. And another corner over here. And then this is an 8-foot bed. So we're gonna go with this on the bottom, this on the top. So I am doing it where it's going to flip up like this. We're doing 5. So 1, 2, 5 boards. Let's take a quick tool break. So let's talk about what I'm gonna do. You don't need 2 drills, but I'm using 2 because one will hold my drill bit and then one I'll be screwing in. I'm using these Deckmate screws, not sponsored, just happen to be what I got. They're from Home Depot and they're 1 5/8 inch. Because I'm not using very thick boards, I can get away with that. And this is a 1-pound box. These are 1 5/8 inch. And they are actually a star drive. So if you can see, there's a little star bit. And they come with the bit. So the star looks just like that. And I'll have that on 1 to help drill in. So just put this guy in. I'm not super well versed in tools, just enough that I can get projects done. So this one, I'm gonna take this bit out, the regular Phillips bit, and I'm gonna put that away in here so I don't lose it. I've got my 2 drills ready, and let's assemble. Usually 2 people is always better than 1, but I don't like to wait around, and we're just gonna go with it. I like to lay the boards down and then pre-drill and then assemble. So we're only gonna do just a little bit, somewhere centered. Or down the line. Quick outfit change. Actually, it's been a few days since I last worked on stuff back here. It is hot, it is sunny, but the bed is done and I thought I would just show it to you. So let's take a look. Okay. So this is Bo. He loves the sun. Oh, he's heard us say his name. Hi, Bo. He's a good boy. So over here, you can see, typically we wouldn't mix the different lengths or different widths, but this is a 1-inch board, this is a 2-inch board, and it's what I have. You can see it's nice and skinny. This is about, I think, 18 inches wide, and this is a 2x3 inside as a corner. And I didn't measure, I just kind of winged it, eyeballed it, and so you can tell that it's not exactly straight, but close enough. And from here, it looks pretty good. Now what I also did was, because this is an 8-foot board, I reinforced on the inside. So that way you can see these boards won't bow out and they will stay nice and lined up. And here, I'm actually going to just straighten out the cattle panel. This is the position I want it in. At a later date, if I wanted to put a lip on this bed, I could, but I tend to just go with a really simple look. And also, more wood is more money. And if my goal is really just to make a planter and I'm trying to save money, then I'm not going to add any extras on top of this. But the option is there if I decide that I want to have a lip. It's an aesthetic preference. Then on this side, I actually have a rack that was in my greenhouse and I moved out here because I was cleaning my greenhouse. But I haven't decided how I'm going to rearrange everything in there. On the other end of this arch, I want to put another bed. So I have to figure out dimensions, size, weight, and all that, because on this side, the tension of this, it's actually a flat panel, and the tension is being held back by the weight of the bed in the greenhouse. Whereas on this side, it's actually just my 20-gallon peach tree bucket. So that's what's holding it back, and maybe also the edge of a bed. So on that side, I need to have that figured out. But here, my kids threw in a little ball. But okay, so on this side's done. I am going to fill it up with some soil. I have a bed I'm emptying and I'm going to end up moving that bed. I'm gonna fill this bed with that bed's soil and then I'll plant this out. I think I'm gonna put dahlias here because I have so many that still haven't been planted and really need a home. Then it'll be really pretty up against this. But I do think I wanna put climbing roses here, so we'll have really pretty rose archway here. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. But I will create another video just on raised beds because I'm getting a lot of questions about it over on Instagram. So if you have questions from this video, please drop them in the comments below so I can answer them in the following video. I didn't end up spending any additional money on this bed because I did have wood laying around. So if you have pieces that you can salvage or you can get for cheap, then that is definitely the way to go. If you are planting food, I would say go for something that's unstained, raw as much as possible. If you are going to salvage wood and make beds, maybe save that for your ornamentals so you're not going to potentially get some toxins in your food. It's just safer that way. But, oh, also, I don't treat my beds because you only know what you know, and I personally don't want to put anything on the raw wood that would leach into my soil and then into my food. And even if it's something that's deemed food safe now, who knows in 5-10 years, and then all that stuff. So if you're going into the trouble of if you're going to the trouble of growing something at home, I say just go with raw wood. If you want to treat the outside, totally on board with that. You can use different organic oils and sealants on that. Just do a little quick search. I don't use them, so I'm not going to recommend any. If you want to paint them, also paint the outside, not the inside. And I think that's about it for this video. Let me know if there are any questions. I think that's it for this video. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm gonna fill this bed up, and in the next video, I'll show you how I planted it out, and we'll talk about raised bed gardening. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.